What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Radzhab Butaev versus Eimantas Stanionis, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, April 16th from the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on Showtime. And to get into both fighters' resumes, Radzhab Butaev, fighting out of Russia, holds a record of 14 wins with no defeats and 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 9 by BoxRec in the welterweight division. He's also the current WBA Welterweight World Champion, and to list his best victory by far, he has a knockout win in his last fight over Jamal James, and earlier on in his career, he had a no contest against Alexander Putin, where it was actually for this exact belt he's holding now, the WBA regular welterweight title, and he lost that fight originally by unanimous decision close. It was in 2019, I believe the fight took place, and then some months later, the fight was changed to a no contest after Putin tested positive for a banned substance. So now he's obviously still undefeated, as I listed before. Now it's a no contest, but now he's the world champion, coming off a great win, and now he's in a big fight. And to get his opponent's resume, Eimantas Stanionis, fighting out of Lithuania, holds a record of 13 wins and no defeats with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 17 by BoxRec in the welterweight division, and in his last fight, he had a no contest against Luis Colazo due to an accidental clash of heads. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Justin DeLoach and a unanimous decision win over Tomas Delorme. And in my opinion, this is one of the toughest fights I've really had to predict of my few years of predicting fights on YouTube and such. So this is really a tough fight to predict. Both these guys have similar records. They've beaten similar opponents. They have similar styles. This is really as 50-50 as it gets. Both of these guys love to come forward. Both of these guys have a lot of power. This is really a tough fight for me to predict. At first, I was thinking one guy. Second, I was thinking another guy. This was really a fight that I was going back and forth on through weeks. I had to watch actually a lot of tape on these guys to really further polish my prediction and really finalize my prediction. This is really a tough fight to predict. Ever since it was announced, I was hyped for it. Sadly, I will not be able to do a post-fight review right after the fight happens, as I usually do for most of the fights I predict and whatnot, because I do have stuff going on at that time of this fight. But I wish this fight wasn't the pay-per-view card, because I would be able to do a post-fight review on it and watch it live. But most likely, if I do a post-fight review, it will be after the fact, or after a couple hours after this fight happens. But otherwise, I still expect it to be an excellent fight. And I could see either man winning. I could see this being a draw. But at this point, I'm really just edging a little bit. I'm edging a little bit in favor of Radzhab Butaev to successfully defend his belt. And comment down below your thoughts on this fight. Who you think is going to win? Or what do you think the winner has next when it comes to opponents? So, this fight will be fought in the center of the ring. And, there's really not... I don't even need to really predict this fight round by round. I think it will be a fight where, Butaev wins 2 rounds, then Stanionis comes back and wins 2 rounds, and it's just back and forth throughout the fight. I think it will be such an action-packed and tremendous fight it will... this is really the undisclosed best fight of the card. I'm going to be 100% honest. Sorry, you guys and Spence. this is the best fight by far on this card. 2 undefeated welterweights going at it. Very similar rock'em sock'em robot styles. Just love to come forward, throw power punches. This is a very, very underrated fight. And it is free on Showtime. It's not in the pay-per-view portion. It's on a separate card with Brandon Lee, I believe, in the opener against Zachary Ochoa. But, this is such a good fight. I'm hyped for it. And just to really break it down, as I mentioned before, I think every single round will be very similar. It will be Radzhab Butaev coming forward and Eimantas Stanionis coming forward. It will really be like two bulls just ramming into each other. This will be a tremendous fight. Both of them coming forward, both of them digging to the body, both of them fighting on the inside. It will be really a fight that is fought on the inside. The reason why I did edge Butaev to win this fight is because he's a bit more skilled than Stanionis. However, Stanionis also a former Olympian. Also had a great amateur background. However, Butaev, when you get to really see how he fights, he has a bit more, I guess you could say, skill level when it comes to his fighting. Although Eimantas Stanionis, as I mentioned before, is the Olympian. Also had a great amateur career, as I mentioned before. He's still a bit more when it comes to just brute force when it comes to coming forward. However, when we saw Butaev fight Jamal James, we got to see some level changes from him. Got to see some good head movement a bit, and some good defense or defensive moments in the fight. So I do have an edge in him there, and I think that sometimes we might see Butaev box a little bit and try and counter Stanionis when he comes forward and try to catch him with some big shots and score some points. However, I think primarily this fight will be fought in the center of the ring, with both fighters throwing punches and really trying to knock each other out. And it will really be like they'll be throwing hooks to the body, throwing big uppercuts to the head on the inside, throwing hooks to the head. It will be a really, really intriguing fight. And in the end, I think it will go the distance, although it's such a tremendous fight that will be fought with great power, with grit in the center of the ring. But I think it will surprisingly go the distance. And I think, as mentioned before, it could go either way. But I'm edging the current world champion, Radzhab Butaev, to get the nod on the judges' scorecards by split decision. So yeah, I think the judges will score this bout like 116-112 and 115-113 for Butaev, and then one judge might have it 115-113 for Stanionis. So as I mentioned before, comment down below your thoughts on this fight and who you think is going to win. And as you just heard, I think that Butaev will just get the nod by split decision, although it will be a really tough and just fight that shows like who has more dog in them. I mean, this is really a fight of that nature where it's just going to be the one who just edges it out to get the win. And I could even go down to like the last round to determine who wins the fight. I mean, it's really that type of fight. It's really going to be a competitive fight between two very, very well-skilled, very, very talented, and very, very fun to watch welterweights. And it's a very underrated fight, as I mentioned before, that I think everyone should watch free on Showtime tomorrow night. So overall, I believe that Radzhab Butaev will defeat Eimantas Stanionis by split decision. And once again, I believe that the judges will score this bout 116-112, 115-113, and 115-113 in favor of Stanionis. Yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.